one more thing about balance, because so far we've only talked about balance from an individual point of view, the self,
Yes.
but balance is also a communal thing that happens with the community or between the individual and the community. And I want to share this example because it is a powerful example of what I said earlier too about have balance happening over time, right?
Yes.
So so guess what? Last week I told you about the Semai people,
Okay. Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, there's very little information online about them. But on Saturday, the synchronicity is I went to the local bookstore because I wanted to support it for Small
Mm-hmm.
Business Saturday. And at the free library, guess what? I found this book on the Semai.
Ah.
I was like, oh my
What's going
God,
on, Halo?
it's like, the deities that I'm connected to are like, oh, you got questions? Let me answer them for you. So it's like I was gifted with the book. And so they have a gift economy.
Mm.
And and at first it seems like an unbalanced economy, but once I read further and with patience, I was like, oh, it's actually very balanced and very fair. So
Yeah.
there's two rules to the gift economy that they have. So they don't use money. So the first rule is that no direct exchanges between individuals, say between A and B, are allowed.
Okay.
So exchanges are between A and B, C, D, or between a group of people, right?
Mm.
And the second rule is that if you go out and hunt a wild boar, for example, and you bring it back to the tribe, right? Depending on how big of a hunt you got,
Mm-hmm.
you basically share it with a group of people, maybe even with the entire settlement. But
Yes.
the rule is that everyone gets an equal share, including the person who hunted, right?
Yes.
Now, in a capitalist society, in a capitalist point of view, you would say, oh, wait a minute, the person who
Person
hunted
wanted.
should get the bigger share, right?
Mm-hmm.
But no, it's actually fair because he proves it in this powerful example here. So I wanted to read from the book a little bit.
All right.
So he
Getting
says
some.
the intrigue, and so he uses a term called punan, which is a Semai word, which is loosely translated as taboo or not
Okay.
allowed.
Okay.
So the intriguing aspect of the system is that direct exchanges of goods between A and B are punan.
Okay.
At any given time, A gives to B, C, D, and so on. As in the Monopoly game, everyone but A profits. However, B, C, D, and B, C, and D also have to share with A when they get a surplus.
Mm.
For example, A shares a pig with B, C, D, and others. B shares a python with A, C, D, and others.
Okay.
C shares a deer with A, B, D, and others.
Okay.
Some people give less to A than A gives them, others give more. In
Okay.
the long run, A gets back from the group of people with whom he shares roughly the equivalent of what he has given them. Though
Mm-hmm.
in his exchanges with any specific person, he may lose more than he gains or vice versa. In short, the economic system ties a Semai to a whole group of people.
Yeah.
And conversely, groups of Semai are bound together by economic ties.
Hmm.
Furthermore, if A gets back from the other people roughly what he has shared with them, he actually profits. If he kept his pig to himself, for example, the meat would go bad long before he could eat it all.
Yeah.
When he gives it all away, it is all eaten.
Mm-hmm.
He then receives an equivalent amount of meat back over a long period of time so that he can eat it without spoilage.
Yes.
Instead of a man's getting too much food at a single time, followed by a long period of scarcity, in other words, imbalance, right?
Mm-hmm.
This sharing system spaces out small portions of food over the same length of time. Since a person receives in small portions about the same amount of food he contributes in large amounts,
Yes.
he actually is able to consume more meat than he could have done if he did not share.
Yep.
The total amount of food available to the group within which food is shared is greater than the amount that would be available to all the individual members had they tried to consume it individually. Everyone profits by this system.
Yes.
The result is that an East Semai individual will contribute his food to the general store not merely because he thinks it is right to do, but because it is to his advantage over
Mm-hmm.
time, right? The
Yes.
sharing of food involves economic ties that make Semai groups more stable than they might otherwise be, which goes back to one of the qualities of balance,
Mm-hmm.
stability, right?
Mm-hmm.
Furthermore, a man can rely on his associates sharing food with him because their sharing ultimately benefits themselves.
Yes. Again, I keep saying it. Y'all gonna get annoyed. There is also another saying in English, or even probably other places, that sharing is caring. And this is an
Hmm.
example of why sharing is caring. Because when you do
Yes,
share, not only do you benefit, but you also help to benefit the tribe, the group, the whole situation, that
exactly.
later on down the line, that say, okay, since we talk about money, everybody trying to get money. Say you end up lending somebody $1 one day, and they decide, you know what, like after you've already gotten that, the money that you got, they're like, okay, I'm gonna go and get all this other dollars and stuff, and I'm gonna come back and give you $1. And then the other person told that person that, oh shoot, I actually was able to get this dollar and make more of the dollars because of that person before me. So then that other person comes and is like, you know what? I want to learn how I ended up just getting $1 from you to do that. Then
Mm,
you make another dollar, and then it continues vice versa. Is that literally you have that resource, which is not only the money, but the knowledge of how you were able to make the dollar more. Then you shared that with
mm,
somebody. Then they shared it with another person. They decided, you know what? I want to learn more about it. So I'm going to come to the source, get it from the source. You
mm,
get more. And then again, it starts to grow out, and it not only benefits you, but it benefits the community and those that are involved in it. So now I'm with
mm.
you on that. Wow. Thank you for
Yeah,
sharing that. And that was from
yeah.
what's the name of the book again?
Let me flip the camera because you can see it better that way. The Semai and Nonviolent People of Malaya by
Mm,
Robert Knox Denton.